Thanks for tuning in to Bourbon Drop. I'm your host, Myron. Today, second episode of the year, we've got a battle for you. I've got 10-year Eagle Rare going up against 6 to 8-year Evan Williams 1783. You know, the funny thing is, let's get the replacement off the table first. The funny thing is, I've sat here and walked past this bottle time and time again. Now, there's some whiskey YouTubers out there that I trust, and they recommended this thing. So I stepped out there and took a chance, and I was pleasantly surprised. The first thing that I wanted to do was get it in the glass and put it beside Eagle Rare, because to me, it seemed like it was a comparable match. So let's get these in the glass. I've got the blind set up. I've got Eagle Rare 10 on this one. I've got EW 1783 on this one. We'll get them poured up. Give me some time. I'll get everything prepared and we'll get right back to it. Okay, I'm back. Now that I've got everything poured up, we can get into the bourbon. So we've got the 10-year here. Now, if you've seen any of my videos, you know that I get a great note when it comes to any of the Buffalo Trace products. So Eagle Rare comes out of the house of Buffalo Trace. This is the house that Buffalo Trace built. Now, 1783 Evan Williams comes out of the Heaven Hill house. So the house of Heaven Hill. This stuff right here, man, I should have given it a chance a long time ago, being such a big fan of Heaven Hill. Let's get these things spun up and start with the battle. All right, they're about to slow down now. I will take these and put them to the sides. Get the cleaning glasses back on the bar, and we'll get into the battle. So, the thing about Heaven Hill, I don't get that nuttiness that some people talk about. You know, they talk about the peanut nuttiness. I do have a bottle of Knob Creek. It was the non-age stated version, and it did have honey roasted peanuts all in it, but I don't get that peanut smell. Now that's just a note that I just can't pick up. I do pick up a lot of the sunflower seed notes. I do pick it up out of the Evan Williams 100, the bottled in bond, and I pick it up a lot out of the George Dickel. When it comes to Eagle Rare, it's all grape. Sometimes I get a little bit of cherry. Eagle Rare used to give me a little bit of spice on the back end. When I cracked this thing open, I kind of got a little bit of that spice on the back end of this thing too. The flavor notes were pretty similar, just that classic vanilla caramel notes that you get in bourbon. So with that being said, let's get into it. Get a little bit of oak. There's a light citrus. If I go deep enough in the glass, I might get a little bit of that grape note out of that one. I'm not sure. Let's go to this one. Wow, that's got a really nice cherry on it. That's a really nice cherry on the nose. A little bit of a seasoned wood. Just a touch of seasoned oak. That could be the the Eagle Rare. I'm telling you, when I first cracked the 1783, I couldn't get over how close it was in my mind to the Eagle Rare. So I had to get them side by side. Let's go into the palate. That's got a little bit of a caramel, a little bit of a brown sugar influence. I do taste a lot of vanilla on that thing. It's actually really good. It is a touch thin, but other than that, it is really good. A little bit of spice on the back end. Let's go into the palate of this one. That's actually coming off a little thinner. Some of those, that berry note, cherry note, and even a little grape is coming out on the palate. It's really good too. It's got a nice little spice across the back. Let's go back in for one more sip. That seasoned wood really sticks out in the glass. It's just like this. It's almost like this spicy oak note that I pull out of there. Back to the vanilla, comes across the palate. It's turning more grape now. I'm not getting as much cherry in the second sniff than I did in the first one. Let's go back to the palate on the glass number one. It just comes across just a little thinner. It's starting to, more of that oak is starting to shine through. The vanillas, the caramels, they do come across really nice. I am liking both of these products. I am not sure which is which. If I had to just guess right now, I'm starting to think that this is more of the Eagle Rare and that this is more of the Evan Williams, but we'll find out here in a second. Evan Williams. This is the Evan Williams 1783. Let me see if you can see that when I drink it. That's actually for $21.99. At least that's what ABC has it for. The Virginia ABC has it for $21.99. That is really enjoyable. I mean, look, Eagle Rare, we know that this thing is chased. Now, Virginia ABC has it for $37.99. So you're talking about a $16 price difference. But we all know that this is an allocated product. So you're going to pay more if you go somewhere where it's not regulated by the state that they have to sell it for SRP. So I'm telling you, it's probably, if I went to a store today in my market here in Maryland, it's probably going to be 50 or higher. That's just the reality of it. So something that is $21.99, and I believe in Maryland, this might even be $23.99. Things are just a little bit higher in Maryland than they are in Virginia. So this might be somewhere around $23.99. But to get something that is $23.99, that is always on the shelf, it is readily available, and have it so close in comparison to something like this is ridiculous. This thing right here, you're not going to find it all over the place. And like I said, when you do, you're going to come out of the pockets. If I had to rank these, I am still going to give it to the Eagle Rare. The Eagle Rare just edges it out, but so slightly. It is ridiculous. I mean, the only knock that I had against this, because in the beginning, this seemed like it had a better mouthfeel. It seemed like it was a little more viscous. This came off as a little thinner, but then when I went back to the glass, it just seemed like it thinned out. More of those oak notes took over, and more of those spicy notes took over, but it was still a very good drink. The Eagle Rare maintained that berry note, some of that grape note, and it just seemed to come across, the more I sipped it, the more it came across as a better pour than this one. So with that being said, let the whiskey flow. Never run out unless you're headed to a drop. Till next time.